Okay, no, seriously, everyone. So this is We'll Do It Live. This is going to be the live show that I do when Daniel's not around or we can't get Daniel around. I also plan on doing some tutorials for you guys because I figured out this nifty feature in Google Hangouts where I can actually screen share, so I can show you exactly what I'm doing as I'm doing it, and I can do a tutorial that way, and it'll be easier. Hopefully, but I won't be able to edit it on the side, so all the tutorials you'll see from this is going to be live. But for this first episode, I'm not going to be doing a live tutorial. I'm going to sort of talk about doing visual effects videos and all that fun jazz. And maybe later do some tutorial type stuff. And then, depending on how I'm feeling each day of the week or whenever I decide to do this, I will I will do maybe some different talks, different things, just kind of whatever I want to talk about. But for the most part, I'm going to try and focus it on visual effects based stuff, tutorials, short making, all that fun jazz. Even if I want to do a behind the scenes and just kind of talk about what happened when we went to shoot something, if I can't exactly make a fully edited video, I might put it out here. So we'll do it live at just sort of whatever I kind of want to put up on here. And it's going to be sort of a place to just throw stuff out, see what kind of sticks. And if I start to get into a rhythm during the show, then so be it. Hopefully I got my nice microphone. Hopefully this doesn't sound like crap. If it does, sorry. So anyways, let's get into talking about making visual effects shorts. Now, I started this a long time ago. It was, I want to say it's like was in 6th grade. And the thing about making visual effects shorts was I did not know what I was getting into. Back then I had watched some of the, at the time, Freddie Wong videos. Now everyone calls it rocket jumping. He seems to be more popular than ever, but I still know him as Freddie Wong. And he sort of kind of had this transition phase. Anyways, so I got inspired by him and I was like, oh, that's really cool. I want to do it. And I got into it and I didn't know what I was getting myself into. When I first started, I only had Windows Movie Maker and Paint. And that's how I did all my visual effects. Although I kind of look back on it now and I'm like, nope, that's not visual effects. So basically what I did back in the day was I took freeze frames from Windows Movie Maker because it had a feature where you take a picture from the video you're making and freeze frame. Then I take that into Paint and scrabble on some white stuff in front of the barrel and take that and put it in as for the smallest amount of frame possible. Windows Movie Maker didn't even let you do a single frame. Windows Movie Maker sort of forced you to do multiple frames at a time, so I couldn't even get the right timing right on that stuff. Plus, it wouldn't even line up in post, and there was all sorts of issues. So that's what I'm going to talk about first. Before you get into this, to do visual effects based shorts. Now, I'm not saying all shorts, all YouTube videos are off the table. In fact, actually go out, do YouTube videos, learn your stuff when it comes to editing, filming, stuff like that. Just make sure you know that if you decide to do visual effects based shorts, that you know exactly what you're getting into, because it adds this whole entire third layer onto the process, which is a pain in the butt sometimes. Depending on how big of a sort of piece of visual effects you want to do, it can also be kind of grand. Gunfights actually take a really long time because while making a muzzle flare for this guy right here is pretty easy, it takes a very long time to do a lot of muzzle flares. I learned the hard way that doing a lot of muzzle flares, making a video clip out of that, putting it in front of the muzzle doesn't always work because the muzzle direction changes mid-shot, a whole bunch of other things. So in reality, you're creating an individual muzzle flare multiple times instead of just a single semi-auto muzzle flare, at least when you're doing full auto gunfights and things of that nature. One of the other obstacles that you'll run into just to begin with is software. Like I said, when I started out, I had Windows Movie Maker and Paint. And just get anything besides those two programs if you can. But what you really want to learn is your editing techniques first. Know how to craft a good story. Know how to film these angles. Know what's exciting. You know, film a chase scene before you have to do any visual effects or gunfights or things of that nature, because, well, you'll learn better from it in the long run. The other thing too that you really need to watch out for is people. Make sure that you have people before you go out and do this. One of my biggest issues was that when I started out, and it still is an issue to this day, that I don't know a lot of people. I don't have a ton of friends. If you're a very social person, this would be excellent for you. If not, then you're going to run into some issues like I do. I know, for instance, True Mobster started out kind of small, but he sort of grew the people that he worked with. And I really need to do the same sort of thing myself, but I've just been busy and caught up with school and the latter, etc. The other thing too is the amount of people you have working with you can sometimes really limit what you're able to produce on a weekly basis. I know, for instance, Freddie Wong has a whole entire team behind him breaking out stuff for him. And even Corridor Digital doesn't even do all of their own effects. They hand it off to a couple different, not lower par people, it's interns, I think. Intern, I think. I don't know what he actually is. So there is a lot of that going on. Basically, a lot of times what happens is that if you don't have enough people, you're stuck to shooting shorts on tripod, which can be done. Some of our best films that we know, 2001: A Space Odyssey, for instance, there's a lot of lockdown camera shots in that movie, if you've seen it, and it's known as one of the greatest movies of all time. You can make movies having a lockdown tripod. The other thing that's going to suck about that, though, is that you are going to not have very many actors, so you're going to have to use techniques like cloning shots and a lot of videos like that. So basically, that's some of the initial obstacles you'll run into when creating this type of stuff. Now, I'm not trying to discourage anyone, and I really think people should get out there and make videos because it's easy. Just know that doing visual effects videos on a weekly basis is one of the hardest types of YouTube videos to create, because if you look at something, for instance, like a vlog, like I'm doing right now, this is actually incredibly easy. Might be kind of one of the reasons why I'm starting to do a couple more every once in a while. Shh, don't tell younger me. I hated vlogs when I was younger. But now I've kind of learned. I'm like, oh well. Gaming videos, they're also something that's very easy to mass produce. Then these sorts of videos are just easy to mass produce content for on the web, and you can release a video every day, every week even. But the problem with visual effects is that there are so many layers to creating these videos. Most videos usually take some sound editing, recording, and editing, and then that's it. Maybe some sound effects design and some music, maybe. And even then, you don't really have to. But as far as what I do, there is I'll walk you through the process real quick. There is filming. There is taking said film back into the computer. And even before that, sometimes we plan for our videos. There's taking our film back into the computer. There is mass producing all the visual effects content for it, which for a 30-second video, nearly half the shots are visual effects for what I do, just because I like to go crazy with it. And you might just lead up to one visual effects shot in some kinds of videos. Those are nice, relaxing breaks. But a lot of times when you're creating this stuff, you have an idea, and in order to execute the idea, you need to use multiple visual effects shots, which kind of sucks, but oh well. Then after you get done with visual effects, it goes into editing. You make a pass on the editing, make sure that it works and it flows and the timing's right. And then you go into sound effects design. Make sure you can hear all the sound effects good, and then you intermix that with your music design, and that includes researching songs that you can use that are copyright free. YouTube is very, very, I hate to say bad, but it kind of is with their copyright music. Now, if you don't mind not making any money off your videos, which I don't make any money off of my videos, so you'll see me use copyrighted songs. But what I make sure to do first, before I put these songs in my video, is I go to YouTube and ensure that the library is working. What that is, library is basically, it shows you where this video can be played and what are some of the copyright restrictions on said thing. And provided I can find that, I'm going to show you right now. Screen share, cool, awesome. So I should be showing you what's going on here. Yay, awesome. So under Create, I believe, there is the sound library. Now, these are all copyright-free songs that can be used in your own videos to build and just put it in your video. These are all free songs to use. That being said, if I remember correctly, music policies here. Here's what you want. If you want to look up a song that you want to use in a video, you can look up a song. But almost every single song in here, you're not going to be able to gain money off of making the video, but you will be able to put it in your video without getting a copyright strike. You just got to check the licensing. Also, if the licenses change, I think it should be noted that your video can be demonetized and sometimes even removed. So it is still always a gamble with this sort of stuff. I haven't had it happen to me yet, though. So let's just say we want some Green Day. So we search Green Day. And provide my internet. Like, let's just say 21 Guns. 21 Guns is a good song. And so right here, it lists all the information that you could possibly want to know about this Green Day song. So it says playback. It means you can view it worldwide. Advertising means ads can appear. And this is also specifically for if you're doing covers of songs. It lets you know information right there. Copyright owners can change their policies or take action in a video that differs from what's described here. Usually you're not going to take any issue with this, provided you're not making money off your video. If you are, though, you're going to have to go to a more specific website to find your stuff. One of my favorites is called CompTech. It's by this guy named Kevin McLeod, I want to say. Could be wrong on that. Don't quote me on it if that's his name. But in CompTech.com, it has all sorts of music, all different tracks. With some digging, you'll be able to find the right stuff. That being said, he doesn't have everything you need. For a lot of my action videos, I've actually went to YouTube and searched copyright-free like rap tracks, for instance. I've actually found that some of like the more fast-paced rap kind of tracks can actually work really well in any action video. It's kind of got some nice driving broodingness to it. And then I've also found electronica. What else? There is I like dubstep myself. It has to be for the right video, though. Has to be for the right video. That's where you can find some of your music. Audio is kind of a bit of a big issue here. The other thing that you really got to watch out for is that you have to have, usually if you're going the After Effects route, you usually need some sort of stock library. Now, if you're just starting out doing gunfights, I will say muzzle flares are some of the easiest, but they are the most time-consuming, because a lot of times when you're doing a muzzle flare in a video, you're having a lot of them going off, unless it's sort of the whole point is behind the gunshot, for instance, and you'll have a single shot somewhere. No, but action videos are, they take a lot of work because you're doing multiple muzzle flares, and while each individual muzzle flare isn't that difficult, doing a lot of them can be quite challenging. On top of that, there's blood splatters, there's bullet ricochets, all sorts of fun stuff. And if you're doing in slow motion, doing slow motion muzzle flares is always a challenge. So there's a lot of stuff. Now, like I said, I'm not trying to discourage anyone from doing this, but there are some obstacles in doing visual effects based videos. So you are going to want to just kind of look at that and really consider, is that something that I want to do? There are other paths that will get you to fame faster, easier. Gaming is kind of a saturated market, so I do kind of hesitate to say gaming. But even I watch some gaming videos every once in a while. Just make sure whatever you're doing in gaming, in the gaming sphere, is very, very unique. Like, Google what you're doing in the gaming sphere. The other thing is vlogs. Everyone does a vlog, but making your personality really come to life. If you're talking like this and you're just kind of blah, 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 you're not letting your personality out. What is the reason that we as humans like to interact and get to know different people? Different flavors, different exciting new possibilities, different new people. It's also kind of the reason why there are certain people that cheat. I don't condone that, but there are people that say that part of it is finding the next new interesting person, you know? So you really want to make your voice something that's very unique and that's very interesting. If you sound like every other person out there, no one's going to be interested in the content you're creating. And the other thing too is that with visual effects videos, these visual effects kind of skit-based videos, they actually have quite a bit working against them nowadays. I hate to say it, but YouTube is kind of biased towards certain types of content. Gaming videos that take a long time, like 20, 30 minutes, YouTube's algorithm has started to favor videos that keep the viewer on longer. That doesn't matter how long the length is. So if you have a 20-minute video and a 3-minute video, if the person stays for a 3-minute time chunk, then the full 3-minute time chunk. But if the 20-minute video has maybe 15 minutes of time chunk that the viewer stayed for, the 20-minute video is going to win out just because they're on the platform for more time. YouTube is rewarding that, and technically as a company they can do whatever they want to, but I think it has kind of harmed in seeing some of these sort of smaller videos. So there are definitely some challenges to just getting started, and there are people that can do it. I have seen, for instance, like I said, True Mobster. He's great. He's got a lot of fun stuff. He does kind of stick to a lot of GTA stuff, and that's kind of been his rise to fame, sort of. I've noticed is that a lot of people look at Grand Theft Auto and people are like, oh, Grand Theft Auto in real life, that sounds interesting. The other thing too about visual effects based action videos is that you're not always going to have the supplies and tools necessary to make a video based off of the next up and coming YouTube or big thing in pop culture, for instance. I know Overwatch. I really wanted to do a video on Overwatch. I think it would have been so fun. Tracer's powers are just super cool, and I wanted to do something kind of based off of that. But I realized that I really lacked the resources to create anything remotely like that. I didn't have any way of making the guns that look like her. I don't know any cosplayers that cosplayed as her. I didn't have any sets or places to film that looked vaguely sci-fi at all. So there are things that you are limited by if you focus entirely on this content. Now, you can do it and make some sort of side content or a separate channel. That is totally 100% A-okay. But that being said, it has been shown over and over again that people, I know I do it even myself, when I see a whole bunch of videos that I really like it turns out that I really like everything on, talks really fast. I'll figure out the name later. Name is Yahtzee. Anyways, his name is Yahtzee. He does funny gaming videos, right? And I liked his game reviews, but I didn't. It's the channel's called the Escapist. That's the name of it. And I really liked his game review videos, but I saw these other videos that I didn't know what they were, right? And I didn't really look at them because I was just bored. And I wanted to subscribe, but I wanted to subscribe only to the his game reviews, right? Turns out I did actually end up liking all the other content, but that really kept me from subscribing from that channel for a very long time because I thought I wasn't getting the right thing. I noticed that myself. So there are a lot of things to keep in mind when it comes to doing YouTube visual effects based shorts. That being said, it is very rewarding because you look at the end of the day and you just kind of see something that you're like, that can't happen in real life, but I'm in it, but it's cool, you know. And one of the most satisfying things for me as a creator here is when I hear someone and they're like, oh yeah, some Daniel or whoever showed me your videos, and then you hear like, oh yeah, and they talk about it, they're like, oh yeah, that's really cool. Like, it's the coolest thing hearing from people that really like your stuff. Now, you may get on the track to getting views and comments and everything a lot faster with other platforms. I'm not saying to not try for visual effects based videos, but it is definitely the hard path. I know I haven't actually found success at this yet, and I'm still trying. The other thing is, for now, part of the reason why you may not have seen a video in a while is because my camera has been down, and so I need to find a good way of replacing the lens, stuff like that. So the other thing too is, like, if the camera goes down, if camera gets stolen, if any of this stuff too, you're out of a means to make a video. Whereas anyone with a webcam can make a show like this. That's what is one of the benefits of, say, a vlog or a gaming channel. You don't necessarily need to worry about your camera being damaged or anything like that. So there are definitely a lot of benefits to doing other platforms. That being said, like I said, visual effects based videos are some of the most rewarding types of videos you can put out on YouTube, I think, anyways. I would love to watch, just sit there and watch tens and hundreds of visual effects action based videos. I would much rather listen to that than what people think and what people are blabbing on about and the politics and the I would I would sit here and watch tens and hundreds of visual effects based videos. But the ones that I do see nowadays are kind of boring. They're kind of super serious and have some visual effects elements in them. But you know, they're we've kind of lost the sort of fun skit based thing. And I think Freddie Wong's really a pioneer on YouTube as far as this sort of stuff goes. And he made these sort of just fun shorts. You know, you didn't have to know anything to get into them. You didn't have to really think about it. You know, I'm in college right now, and I meet all of these pretentious people. And I'm like, yeah, I want you to think about it after the video's over, and I want you to just kind of feel what the sound is like, you know? And these people, they forget to have fun with what they're creating. Never forget to have fun. That's kind of one of the whole points. That's one of the points that I make videos. I think we live in a really shitty world. I really do. I think our world is going to hell. And part of the reason that I make visual effects and YouTube based action and visual effects content is because I like to kind of take people out of that terrible world, at least for a little bit, you know, make them happy, at least while they're watching what I've created. It, and granted, I don't get to show that many people what I do, but the people that I do show, a lot of times they're really happy when I watch it. And that's one of the things I guess that have kept me going. It's just, I guess not so much the online fame, but just seeing people in person react to what I create, and it's very rewarding for me. So what I'll say is that really consider if you want to make visual effects based YouTube videos. Um, if you're okay with the long extra hours working, the time that you could be doing other stuff, the um, the potential for not having as much fame and YouTube views as like some other types of content. Um, I mean, feel free to start it. I would love, like I said, I would love to sit here and watch hundreds of YouTube visual effects videos. I would watch that all day if I could, but there's not enough out there that are fun. A lot of the videos that I see, they're just not fun. They're like, I'm serious. You take me seriously because, you know. And I get it. I went through a period where I was like, ooh, let's make something pretentious. And I still do make pretentious, annoying films, but I know that doing all of those all the time isn't the best strategy. So, anyways, guys, gals, this is an airsoft gun. Don't worry about it. See, it's got an orange tip in case there's a cop watching this and he decides to come out to my house. I'm good. Um, anyways, so that being said, this has been We'll Do It Live #1. Next up, I'm going to give you guys a tutorial on the video that comes out this week. I have it 100% done. You guys are getting a visual effects skit, funny based content. It's sort of inspired, but not a direct fan film of Team Fortress 2. It's sort of referencing the Scout's Force of Nature shotgun, which, in case you guys don't know, it's a shotgun that basically, when you shoot people with it in the game, people go flying. And that's actually really fun visual effects to do. And I'm going to teach you guys how to do that on the next live show. But I want to have the video come out and premiere before I go and show you guys how I created the visual effects on that. So anyways, everyone, this has been, like I said, We'll Do It Live #1. Have a great day and peace. I want to come up with a new good ending here specifically for this one, but we'll see. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.